What if I told you that by the time you reach 65, there is a 75% chance you will be dealing with a condition that quietly robs you of your masculine confidence every single night? What if I told you that this condition forces you to plan your entire day around bathroom locations, makes you avoid long car trips with your family, and leaves you feeling exhausted from constantly interrupted sleep patterns? I am Dr. Eva Hart, a certified urologist with 14 years of specialized experience working exclusively with men over 60. Throughout my career, I have seen thousands of men walk into my office feeling defeated, embarrassed, and utterly convinced that their best days are permanently behind them. Here is what I want you to understand right now. That increasingly weak stream, those frequent nighttime bathroom trips that disrupt your rest, that persistent feeling like you can never fully empty your bladder completely, absolutely none of this is your fault, and more importantly, none of it has to be your permanent reality. This is a topic most men feel too embarrassed to discuss openly with anyone, but staying silent and suffering alone only makes the problem progressively worse over time. In this video, I am going to share with you the real science behind exactly why your prostate enlarges with age, and more importantly, 5 proven natural approaches that can help you reclaim complete control over your body and your life. This is about much more than just managing bathroom habits. This is about reclaiming your confidence, your peaceful sleep, your freedom to live life entirely on your own terms without constant worry. Stay with me until the very end, because the 5th approach I share has helped men reduce their bothersome symptoms by up to 40% in just 8 weeks. And if this topic resonates with you personally, share in the comments what exactly speaks to you most. But here is something most doctors will never tell you about the surprising connection between your evening routine and those frustrating morning symptoms. Let me tell you about something that is quietly happening to most men over 60 right now, something that goes far beyond what you typically see described in standard medical textbooks. Your prostate, that walnut-sized gland sitting just below your bladder, does not just randomly decide to grow larger as you age without reason. There is actually a complex biological process happening inside your body at this very moment, and truly understanding it is the crucial first step to taking back complete control. Think of your prostate like a garden hose with someone slowly stepping on it with increasing pressure. As that pressure gradually increases over time, the water flow becomes progressively weaker and more irregular. But unlike a simple mechanical problem, your prostate enlargement involves a complex cascade of hormonal changes, inflammatory responses, and cellular growth patterns that most medical schools barely touch on. Here is what is actually happening inside your body. Your system is still producing testosterone at reasonable levels, but as you age naturally, more and more of it gets converted into a significantly more potent hormone called DHT. This DHT acts like concentrated miracle grow specifically for your prostate cells, causing them to multiply much faster than they naturally die off. At the same time, chronic low-grade inflammation develops in your prostate tissue, creating the perfect environment for this abnormal growth to accelerate unchecked. This inflammation often goes completely undetected because it does not cause obvious pain initially. I have watched countless men struggle with this exact process, feeling like their own bodies have somehow betrayed them after decades of faithful service. But here is what gives me genuine hope every single day in my medical practice. Your body possesses incredible healing capacity, even at 60, 70, or 80 years old and beyond. One patient recently told me with obvious relief, "Doctor, I honestly thought I was just getting old and had to accept this decline as inevitable." Just 3 months later, he was sleeping peacefully through the night for the first time in several years. But the solution was definitely not what he initially expected, and it certainly was not another prescription medication. I have noticed something truly fascinating in my years of specialized practice. The men who maintain some form of regular physical activity, even relatively light exercise, consistently have significantly fewer prostate problems and less severe symptoms overall. But here is the part that might genuinely surprise you. This benefit is not primarily about building muscle mass or losing substantial weight, though those positive changes certainly help too. When you exercise consistently, you are actually doing something quite profound for your prostate health that goes far beyond what most doctors fully realize. Physical activity directly reduces the chronic inflammation that actively fuels prostate growth. It dramatically improves blood circulation to the entire pelvic region, bringing fresh oxygen and nutrients. Most importantly, it helps naturally regulate the hormonal imbalances that drive excessive DHT production. Countless men tell me exactly the same thing during consultations. "Doctor, I used to be much more active in my younger years, but now with these embarrassing symptoms, I am genuinely afraid to exercise or venture far from home." I completely understand that fear and the anxiety it creates. The persistent thought of being far from a bathroom during a workout can feel absolutely paralyzing. But here is what the extensive research clearly shows us. Men who walk for just 2 to 3 hours per week, which breaks down to less than 30 minutes daily, reduce their BPH risk by approximately 30%. This is not theoretical, this is measurable, documented improvement. This does not mean you need to transform into a marathon runner. I am talking about 20 to 30 minutes of comfortable walking most days of the week at whatever pace feels manageable. Swimming is particularly excellent because the gentle water pressure actually helps support proper pelvic floor function. The science behind this connection is truly remarkable. Regular exercise helps your body process and eliminate hormones much more efficiently. Significantly reduces the inflammatory markers that directly signal your prostate cells to continue growing larger. If you are reading this and thinking, "I can barely make it through the night without multiple interruptions, how could I possibly exercise?" Please type plus in the comments below. It is genuinely important for me to know that you are here, actively taking steps to better understand your body. But exercise is honestly just the beginning. What you consciously choose to put in your body matters just as much, and there is one specific dietary change that can start working within just a few days. Here is what the vast majority of doctors will not tell you about the powerful relationship between diet and prostate health. What you consciously choose to eat today directly and measurably affects exactly how you feel tomorrow morning. Not in some vague, theoretical long-term way, but in an immediate, quantifiable way that you can actually feel within just 24 to 48 hours of making changes. I have personally witnessed this remarkable pattern countless times throughout my specialized practice. A desperate man comes into my office convinced he needs immediate surgery or powerful medications. We carefully make just a few targeted dietary changes based on scientific evidence, and within one single week, he is calling my office completely amazed at the dramatic improvement. Let me share what one particularly memorable 68-year-old gentleman discovered. For many frustrating months, he had been waking up 4 to 5 times every single night, disrupting his sleep completely. He felt constantly exhausted, increasingly frustrated, and genuinely worried about taking long trips with his beloved wife. We carefully identified that his evening routine consistently included a large cup of coffee after dinner and a generous glass of wine before bedtime. Within just 3 days of eliminating only these 2 specific things from his routine, he was down to just 1 nighttime bathroom visit. The foods that actively help your prostate are probably already in your kitchen right now. Tomatoes, especially cooked tomatoes and sauces, contain a powerful natural compound called lycopene that acts like a targeted anti-inflammatory specifically for prostate tissue. Watermelon, pink grapefruit, and red bell peppers contain this same healing compound. Fatty fish like fresh salmon and mackerel provide essential omega-3 fatty acids that directly combat the specific inflammation driving your prostate growth. Green tea contains beneficial catechins that have been scientifically shown to actually slow prostate cell proliferation. On the opposite side, there are specific foods that unfortunately make everything significantly worse. High-fat red meat, especially processed meats like bacon and sausages, actively increase inflammation throughout your body. Dairy products, particularly high-fat dairy like whole milk and cheese, have been linked to increased BPH symptoms in multiple studies. But here is perhaps the most immediate change you can implement starting tonight. Take a careful look at exactly what you are drinking throughout the day. Caffeine, alcohol, and artificial sweeteners can directly irritate your bladder lining, making your existing symptoms feel significantly worse than they actually need to be. Positive transformation happens much faster than you might think possible, but there is another crucial factor that might be secretly sabotaging your progress even if you eat perfectly. Most men never make the crucial connection between their daily stress levels and their prostate symptoms, but the physiological link is actually much stronger and more direct than you might imagine. Your sympathetic nervous system, that ancient fight-or-flight response, can actually make your prostate symptoms significantly worse when it remains constantly activated in modern life. Here is exactly what happens inside your body when you experience chronic, unrelenting stress. Your system releases specific hormones that directly increase muscle tension throughout your entire pelvic area. The smooth muscles surrounding your prostate and bladder neck tighten up considerably, making the physical act of urination much more difficult. At the same time, chronic stress dramatically increases inflammation throughout your entire body, including specifically in your prostate tissue. I have personally observed this clear pattern repeatedly. Men under consistently high stress, whether from demanding work responsibilities, family obligations, serious financial concerns, or health worries, almost always have significantly more severe BPH symptoms than men with lower stress levels. The cruel irony is that prostate problems naturally create even more stress and anxiety, which directly worsens the physical symptoms. But here is genuinely encouraging news. Your body responds remarkably quickly to even simple stress reduction techniques. I am not talking about expensive meditation retreats or complex relaxation programs. Simple, practical stress management approaches can start improving your symptoms within just a few days of consistent implementation. Deep breathing exercises, practiced for even just 5 to 10 minutes before bedtime, can help naturally relax the pelvic muscles and significantly improve overall sleep quality. Gentle stretching or basic yoga poses that specifically open the hip area can reduce accumulated tension in the entire pelvic region. The research on this stress-prostate connection is quite compelling. Men who practice regular stress reduction techniques show measurable improvements in urinary flow rates and overall symptom scores. This is not just about feeling better psychologically. This represents actual, measurable physical improvement in prostate function. One particular aspect of stress that especially affects men over 60 is sleep disruption. When you are constantly worried about getting up multiple times at night, that worry itself makes the actual problem significantly worse. Breaking this destructive cycle requires a gentle but deliberate approach to calming your mind before sleep. If you have been dealing with high stress levels and these frustrating symptoms simultaneously, know that addressing both issues together often provides much faster relief than attempting to treat either one alone. But there is one more important factor that could be unknowingly interfering with your progress. This is something that might genuinely shock you. Some of the most common over-the-counter medications that men take regularly can actually make BPH symptoms significantly worse. I encounter this problem in my practice constantly, and unfortunately most men have absolutely no idea there is even a connection between their medications and their symptoms. Antihistamines, those common medications you take for seasonal allergies, can relax your bladder muscle in ways that make it considerably harder to empty completely. Decongestants like pseudoephedrine can tighten the smooth muscles around your prostate, making the physical act of urination much more difficult. Even certain antidepressants can affect bladder function in subtle ways that worsen your existing symptoms. I clearly remember one particular patient who had been struggling with increasingly severe symptoms for many frustrating months. During our consultation, we carefully reviewed all his medications and discovered he was taking a daily allergy medication for seasonal issues. Within just 1 week of switching to a completely different type of allergy relief, his urinary symptoms improved by an impressive 60%. The real challenge is that these are often medications you might legitimately need for important health reasons. The solution is definitely not to abruptly stop taking everything, but to work collaboratively with your doctor to find effective alternatives that do not interfere with your prostate health. Here is what I want every man listening to do immediately. Make a comprehensive list of every single medication you take regularly, including over-the-counter supplements and vitamins. Bring this complete list to your doctor and specifically ask, could any of these potentially be contributing to my prostate symptoms? Many physicians do not automatically think to review this crucial connection. Some men are taking medications for high blood pressure or heart conditions that can also significantly affect urination patterns. Again, the solution is not to stop taking medically necessary medications, but to work closely with your healthcare team to optimize everything together. The encouraging news is that once you identify and properly address these medication interactions, improvement can happen very quickly. But this brings us to perhaps the most powerful approach of all, something that addresses the fundamental root cause. Here is something that should give you genuine hope and motivation. Even modest weight loss can produce absolutely dramatic improvements in prostate symptoms and overall quality of life. I am not talking about losing 50 pounds or transforming your entire body composition. Scientific research clearly shows that losing just 8% of your current body weight can significantly improve urinary symptoms. Why does this approach work so powerfully? Excess weight, especially accumulated around your midsection, dramatically increases inflammation throughout your entire body. This systemic inflammation directly fuels prostate growth and makes your existing symptoms considerably worse. Additionally, extra weight puts direct physical pressure on your bladder and entire pelvic area, contributing to increased urgency and frequency. Connection goes even deeper than simple mechanics. Fat tissue, especially visceral abdominal fat, actively produces inflammatory substances called cytokines. These circulate continuously through your bloodstream and create the absolutely perfect environment for your prostate to continue growing larger and more problematic. But here is what gives me tremendous hope for every single man listening. Your body genuinely wants to heal and return to optimal function. When you reduce systemic inflammation through even modest weight loss, your prostate responds quickly and positively. Men often notice meaningful improvements in their symptoms before they even see significant changes on the bathroom scale. I have personally worked with men who lost just 15 to 20 pounds and experienced substantial reductions in nighttime urination, noticeable improvements in urinary flow strength, and significantly better overall energy levels. This was definitely not about vanity, this was about reclaiming their quality of life and masculine confidence. The approach that works best long-term is definitely not extreme dieting or intense exercise programs that are impossible to maintain. Sustainable changes, eating more fresh vegetables, reducing portion sizes gradually, taking pleasant evening walks create lasting results without overwhelming your system or disrupting your schedule. One memorable 72-year-old gentleman successfully reduced his nighttime bathroom visits from 4 per night to just 1 simply by losing 18 pounds over 4 manageable months. He told me with obvious relief, "Doctor, I finally feel like myself again." Even if you have tried to lose weight before without lasting success, approaching it specifically from the perspective of prostate health often provides the motivation and focus needed for genuine lasting change. When you feel the direct connection between what you do and how you feel, everything becomes significantly easier. Your prostate health is absolutely not predetermined by your age or genetic factors alone. The 5 comprehensive approaches we have covered to understanding your body, incorporating gentle exercise, making strategic dietary changes, managing stress effectively, reviewing medications carefully, and addressing inflammation through weight management work together synergistically to help your body heal naturally. This is about reclaiming complete control over your health, your sleep, your confidence, and your freedom to live life entirely on your terms without constant worry or planning around bathroom locations. You do not have to accept deteriorating symptoms as an inevitable part of aging or surrender your quality of life. Start with one change that resonates most strongly with you. Whether that is a 20-minute daily walk, eliminating caffeine after 2 p.m., or simply being more mindful of stress levels, that first step matters more than you know. If this information has been helpful, subscribe to this channel for more evidence-based content about men's health after 60. Share your experience in the comments. What approach are you most excited to try? Your story might be exactly what another man needs to hear to take action. Remember, at any age, your body has remarkable capacity for healing and improvement. Take control of your health today.